Hey guys, I was wanting to edit this in really fast, because um I'm gonna be making another video. It's actually already made, but I wanted to give a shout out, well again, and just say thanks to MW Hill for making me my new channel icon. If you guys go on my channel, it's not Leatherface anymore. It's the with me, with headphones on, with a bunch of horror characters in the background, and he really did a good job making it. And just wanted to give him sort of another shout out and saying thank you to MW Hill for making me that channel icon, because it's freaking awesome, and I really appreciate it, man. So thanks MW Hill. I really appreciate it, man. It's really cool that you did that. And yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. And I'll see you guys. Well, you guys will be seeing me again on the review. So thanks for watching this short little video. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to some more reviews, and today talking about The Last House on the Left. This is the unrated version, the collector's edition, written and directed by Wes Craven. This is a very well done DVD. If you're a fan of this film, definitely pick up this DVD. I mean, it has a really well made commentary. I enjoyed this commentary. This is probably one of my favorite commentaries of all time. It's a commentary with David Hess, Mark Shuffler, and Fred Lincoln. Of course, that's Junior Stillo, Krug Stillo, and Fred Lincoln playing, in the film he played Weasel. And it's also got a documentary called Celluloid Crime of the Century, which is really well made, and still standing the legacy of Last House on the Left. It's a featurette with Wes Craven, really well done. Tales That Would Tear Your Heart Out is basically a short film by Wes Craven that lost funding. Not really any sound to it, but I mean it was okay, I guess. It didn't really have much to do with this film, but it was an okay feature. And deleted scene and never before seen footage. So if you're a big fan of this film, definitely pick up this DVD. I mean, it's a very well made DVD. Of course, you guys see the back of it. Oh, it's really weird because this front cover, I'm not really sure who this is. It might be the lead girl, but doesn't really look like her. And nobody wears gloves like this in the film, so I'm not really sure what this is all about. But I do believe you've seen this house in the film, so that house is from the movie, but not really sure what this is all about. But of course, you open it up. You got some artwork on the disc. Like I said, it's a really well done DVD. And Last House on the Left. It's a film that, before I get into it, this is something I gotta mention because I've mentioned it on probably almost every review I've done on the channel. If you're not a fan of this film, that's cool. Last House on the Left, the original film, of course, came out in 1972. And this film is a very split down the middle decision. I've heard people say that they enjoyed the film, and I've heard people say they didn't enjoy the film. And this film was made a long time ago, 1972. I'm not sitting here and saying this movie is flawless. There's a few problems with it, but I can honestly say that I'm a fan of Last House on the Left, the original. I used to think this movie was just okay in the past, but I've been watching it a lot, and I really appreciate the film because for its time, it was very shocking, and I still think it's kind of shocking, but for the time it came out, it was very shocking. The story behind this movie is very powerful. It still is powerful. It was, for the budget they were given, very well made. And I believe that this is when Wes Craven didn't even go to film school. This was just sort of, they got the money, they shot this film, and released it. It was a film with, a very low budget behind it. And I believe it was filmed in 8 weeks, 9 weeks, or something like that. So yeah, 9 weeks of filming. And the film is, in my opinion, a cult classic. And I can honestly say this is one of my favorite Wes Craven films. Now, like I said, this is one of those films that I've heard people say they loved or liked or, said was okay. And there's also a film that I've heard people say they hated or they didn't like it that much. They're not a fan of it. And if you're not a fan of this movie, that's totally fine. It's understandable. I have a few problems with it myself, but the film as a whole, I think, is actually a cult classic. And probably, like I said, one of my favorite Wes Craven films. Now, this film, of course, is about a girl named, they think it's Mary Collingwood. And basically, she goes with her friend. They're going to go see this concert. And on their way to this concert, they're going to go buy some marijuana. They get tricked and kidnapped by these people. You got Krug Stillo, played by David Hess, which did an amazing job. I gotta say, the psychopaths in this film, they're all really well done. Junior Stillo, the girl Sadie, Weasel, everybody did a good job. Every single actor in this movie did a good job, and it was just very well acted. I would say that this movie has some phenomenal acting, especially from the killers. Very well done acting. I used to have a problem with the score. I still kind of do, but for the majority, I love the score. You got that song, "When the road leads to nowhere and the castle stays the same." You got that song. You've got that sort of blues song that plays after the rape scene. You've got that song, "Wheels turning, some of the leaves are turning brown." Really, really well done song. There's probably one or two songs that I didn't like. The I hate that song that plays when they got the girls in the trunk and they're driving on this road. And there's even lyrics to it, and I'm like thinking like it was just so out of place. And I did watch the documentary, and I do get what they're trying to do. They were trying to play this happy melody during an awful scene to sort of get opposite, feelings or opposite, opposite things going on. You have you have a horrible scene that's going on. You got, this violence that's going on with the happy melody. You got two things, two senses that, sort of clash and make a weird sort of feeling. But it didn't work for me. It just, the sound, the song that plays during when the girls are in the back of the trunk and, they're driving on the road, that, that dun 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 dun. I just didn't care for it that much, and it just was like, it just felt very out of place, and I really wish they would have replaced that music with something else because it felt very, very out of place. Also, when they're eating at this dinner table, there's a song that plays like da, 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 da. Very, very weird melody. Not really necessarily out of place, but it was very weird. I can't really say I liked it, but it was very weird melody. So yeah, the score, for the most part, I love it. I really enjoy the music. David Hess did a good job, making the music. By the way, rest in peace to Wes Craven, rest in peace to David Hess, and rest in peace to Weasel or Fred Lincoln. Rest in peace to Fred Lincoln. They all three have passed away, and they did a good job. I mean, Wes Craven did a good job writing this film. David Hess and Fred Lincoln did a good job acting this film. And the girls get kidnapped by these people, and they go out into the woods, and when they're out there, they're getting tortured. And the best scenes of the film are definitely in the woods, because you've got some really brutal stuff in there. Them making this one girl pee herself, urinate all over herself, humiliating scene, very, very, you felt very, very sorry for these girls, and it made you hate these bad guys, and, they're making them strip down naked, and, kiss each other, the two girls kiss each other, and, basically humiliating them, and then one of the girls tries to make a run for it. They end up catching up to her and stabbing her multiple times. And the way that it was edited and done, and that score in the background was very creepy, where, Weasel's just stabbing her repeatedly. It's a very, very creepy scene. And it's a very powerful scene. And they kill her. They go back to the Mary character, and they drop an arm on the ground from her friend. I believe it was like Phyllis. Her friend's arm drops on the ground, realizes that she's dead. Then she gets raped, and it's very, 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 just a very terrible scene where this girl is being raped by Krug, and it's just very, it's shocking, it's disturbing, and it's extremely, extremely disturbing. And she's getting raped, and then she goes out in the lake. You got that song in the background. It's a very impacting scene, and it's very, very shocking. And she walks out in the middle of that lake, and then Krug shoots from the back of the head. And the scenes that were not good, that I could not stand, were the comedic scene with the sheriff and the deputy. Now, this isn't just me. There's been multiple people who have said this. They are very annoying. They're not funny. Either they're playing chess, and they hear about how they got a call in about this car, and they completely missed it. That their car runs out of gas, and they got to run and catch up with Ada Washington, and get in the chicken truck, and and ride in the chicken truck. And it's not funny. It's not funny. It's very, very annoying, and it felt like the humor was just too forced. It was not funny at all. Those are the scenes that were extremely annoying for me, were the ones involving the sheriff and the deputy, because I didn't care for the characters. I really didn't see a purpose in the story. It was just like pointless, comedic, like not funny scenes. And those are the scenes that really bothered me. Besides that, though, like the scenes in the woods, the scenes in the city, and the film is very, very well shot. And from what I've heard, the camera guy or the cinematographer, wasn't the most experienced. And I was shocked to hear that, because the film has some great, pan shots. You see like, the shot of the lake, and you see ducks, and you see trees everywhere, and it's all in the daytime, and it's beautiful setting, and it's well shot. So to hear that, it was very shocking, because like, what? This guy, the cinematographer, didn't have that much, experience in shooting a film. I was kind of shocked to hear that, because, it's very, in my opinion, it's very well shot. And of course, you had that, the story Last House on the Left is definitely a classic story. They go to the parents' house after they're done killing the Mary Collingwood girl and her friend. They kill them. They go to the parents' house. They don't even know it. And of course, they do find out that it's the parents' house. And the parents find out that they killed and raped Mary Collingwood, which is their daughter. And the parents, of course, you got this one guy. I can't remember his full name. It wasn't like something Gaylord, which is freaking weird, because that's not really his, I don't believe that's his real name. I believe he changed his name like 3 times. His last name was like Gaylord or something like that. But, the father and the mom, I didn't, mind them. Did a good, decent job. And the end of the film is great. You got them finding their daughter, and they basically go into revenge mode. The dad gets like a chainsaw, chainsaws Krug to pieces. The mom, in a very, very shocking scene and very disturbing scene, where she's giving a blowjob to Weasel and bites, his penis off. And the way that it was done was just so, it was so shocking and disturbing that it makes you cringe. If you're a dude, you cringe, because the girl bites his penis off, and it's just like, oh my god, freaking disturbing and freaking shocking. It was cringing. Of course, he bleeds out and dies, and then the mom tackles the Sadie character. They run, they fight a little bit, and then they start running. Sadie falls into a pool, gets her throat slit, and that's pretty much it. I mean, and the parents even set up like these traps around the house, like Krug gets tripped over a wire, trips on this like cream stuff on the ground, gets shocked by this water, put underneath this mat, and it gets shocked by electricity. And you got that freaking crazy scene where Krug is telling his son, because he's got his son hooked on heroin, and he's telling his son, he's like, I want you to put the gun in your mouth. I want you to blow your brains out. And the kid actually, the junior character, Mark Shuffler, puts a gun in his mouth and literally blows his brains out. And it's very, very shocking. It's very, very, disturbing. And the movie, in my opinion, is still disturbing. A lot of people say that it's tame. It is a little bit tame. The gore does feel like it's a little bit trimmed down. This is the uncut version, but the gore still feel like it was a little bit, trimmed down. But there's just the ideas behind the movie that are very shocking and disturbing. The rape scene, the guy blowing his brains out. Just really, really disturbing ideas. And the junior character kills himself. And then Krug gets chainsawed up by the dad, and the sheriff and deputy try to come in and save the day, but they don't. They fail, and that's pretty much the end of the film. And of course, the movie ends, because the mom and dad are sitting there, distraught. And how does it end? You got that song playing, and you got the credits rolling and stuff like that, and it was just like, again, out of place, very out of place, but the rest of the score I enjoyed. You got just also scenes that are very memorable, scenes that, you won't forget. Krug, this girl running away from Weasel and Sadie, she's running away from them, and Krug pops out with like a machete. You got that scene where, like I said, the kid blows his brains out. Scenes that you will not forget, scenes that stick with you. And yeah, so you got some scenes that will stick with you. And scenes that are very disturbing, very shocking. But the film it's very well directed. I mean, Wes Craven didn't even go to film school yet. Just went out and tried to film and did a good job. And, the film is well written. I guess, from what I've heard, it was supposed to be more of a sexually explicit film. And the bits and pieces of the script that they were showing in the documentary, the original script, it was freaking like them killing the girls and having sex with them, and one person over here, having sex with the girl's dead body, stuff like that. So it was supposed to be a very graphic and sexually explicit film. But the cast with Wes Craven, they were like, this film could be really good without the explicit sexual content in it. So, he just made it the way it is, and he took out all the sexually explicit content, and this is what we got. And it's in my opinion, it's a classic. I still enjoy the film. I still think it's well made, and I'm a fan of Last House on the Left, the original. For those wondering, Last House on the Left, the remake, which I do own, still very well made. I enjoy it. I'll probably review this film next. But I enjoy it. Well made. But yeah, Last House on the Left, the original, in my opinion, is still a classic. It's well shot, well directed, well acted. The humor got annoying. Some of the songs I didn't care for. But overall, the film is definitely a cult classic. So guys, thanks for watching my review for Last House on the Left, the original. And I'll see you guys on next review. Bye guys.